go a little further now. And we're talking about now moving into the world of fashion from mathematics. It's 2002, and you're now going to be, stepping in and taking over at NIFT, an institution that has created, epic, designers and, put India on the fashion map, of the world, which at the time was more of an organization that was, or an institute that was kind of a page 3 thing, but then you changed everything. Tell us about NIFT.
It's a very interesting journey. I used to be Secretary Higher and Technical Education in Gujarat, and we actually also did a private university bill there. And then they said that you keep telling VCs all of this. Why don't you come here and do something? Mm-hmm. So somebody design on his part and accident on my part, I landed up as DG NIFT. The admission session was on at that time, and these are kids who have just done their 12th.
Correct.
I thought we were making the same mistake which JEE makes all the time, which I would say even UPSC to some extent is conscious and correcting. And I always used to fight with JEE when I was in education that you want ready engineers. You're not looking for potential engineers because you don't know how to find that potential.
Right.
It is your failing. It is not the systemic failing. And even today, why is it that people get into JEE in the 4th or the 5th round? Why is it that people get, crack the UPSC exam in the 4th or the 5th round? Correct. I think it's fundamentally, it's flawed, fundamentally not acceptable. So it was very interesting. When I went there, interviews were on. 12वीं के बच्चे को, लड़के को, लड़की को, आप इंटरव्यू में बुला रहे हो. Very interesting that interviewers repeatedly everywhere bring in their biases into the interview process.
Okay.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So if you see a smart girl walking in, speaking fluent English, you get floored.
This is a great candidate.
You get floored. And I've seen it across, Gaurav, I've seen it across organizations, the weakness. I would call it the weakness of the system. That अगर कोई हिंदी में बोल रहा है, हाँ? और मैं बहुत बार मिक्स्ड बोलती हूँ, इंग्लिश भी हिंदी भी. To tell people that just because you're not walking in very smartly doesn't mean that you don't have it in you. And this whole industry that we have created of coaching, so disastrous. And we have created it. The industry is surviving because of us. It is thriving because of us.
Yeah.
Because we are not changing the way we are doing the examination system.
Right.
I didn't know all of this at that time when I went to NIFT, frankly.
Right.
But I sat with some very eminent designers who were in the interview panel, very, very eminent. And I sat, they invited me to, sit on in their panel for some time. And I thought it was so wrong to interview a child who has just done the 12th and is coming for an interview to ask him questions. What would you ask him? What would you ask a future designer or a future technology person? So I took my lessons from there. And you talked of consultative. Right. Leadership has to be consultative.
Yep.
So then we set up a faculty conclave, invited a lot of eminent alumni. We have a lot of eminent alumni.
You mentioned some names were like the Raghavendra Rathors and the Satyapals and Ritu Kumars. Some big names.
Yeah, big names. And Manish Malhotra.
Of course.
So we invited them. I invited them to tell us what they would like us to do differently, if anything.
Right.
Some of them conveyed that we entered as a designer, we exited as a designer.
Okay.
You can't not have a 360-degree understanding of the environment that the business environment that you'll be working in.
Right.
And then in the faculty conclave, it came out that we wanted it to become a more academically rigorous course rather than a a page 3 course, 3-year program at the end of 12th. You don't even give a degree. How do they go even abroad?
So it's just a diploma course prior.
It was a kind of a diploma course. So we started the process of a 4-year program. I think it was very interesting journey for us. And once we had, restructured the programs, it was so easy for me to talk to the best of the universities who wouldn't touch us with the barge pole. Chelsea College. Oh my God. So the University of London. I'm not talking of Chelsea College, mind you. I'm talking the University of London now. Because I believe we have a rigorous academic program.
Right.
So we talked to the University of London. They came down, Leeds University, a very eminent university, 35 universities, Australia, US, UK. We signed up faculty and student exchange programs with these universities sitting there. And by the time we had structured it, we were strong. People had heard about us by that time, what we were doing in the system. And Honorable President, we had not yet become, through an act of parliament, Honorable